Good evening, we are the group number 2, and today we will talk about the different theories of bilingualism. Okay, first we have the unitary system theory. Please, the next slide. Thank you. This theory suggests that the young children who acquire the two languages simultaneously do not have to separate the mental representation of each language, but rather a single underlying system. The children avoid the learning exact translation of each word and focus first on the underlying concepts. Additionally, this theory was based on the observation of young bilingual children who initially mix elements of the blue language in their speech, the code switching, before gradually differentiating them. The grammar, vocabulary, and the sounds of the two languages can influence each other. And the children slowly differentiate the two languages within the unitary system through the exposure and the experience. In other words, of the contact with the other people that are around them. What do you think, Emily?
Your microphone is off, Millie. Sorry for the interruption.
Sorry, girl. So I was saying that I really like the unitary system, but we also have to consider the dual system theory because it proposes that the two languages remain separate in the brain from the onset of linguistic input despite occasional code switching. It means that bilingual children may acquire separate language systems and they pose an additional option to do ELS by further classifying these systems into autonomous and independent. We also have to consider that if the two language systems interact during language acquisition, we would expect to see three processes such as transfer, in which bilinguals incorporate grammatical elements from one language into the grammar of the other, acceleration, which is the grammatical properties appear earlier in bilinguals than in typically developing monolinguals, and the delay, which is the simultaneous language acquisition causing delays in grammatical development. What do you think about this, Melu?
I like the dual system theory because it is a reflective, slow, and deliberate system. So now I'm going to talk about the tripartite system theory. So the most important ideas are one, many brain systems as many languages they know. Two, people can access both language or none of them. Three, doesn't explain how the brain organizes. And finally, separate system story linguistic information not common to all language. These systems were individual to help people navigate and adapt their social and emotional context. So, what do you think, Sophie?
Okay, so the subsystem hypothesis holds that within a large system, there are small components that operate in a relatively independent but interconnected manner. Each subsystem has its own specific function and objective, but contributes to the overall functioning of the main system. It further posits that modification in one of these subsystems can be significant effects on the overall performance of the system, implies that studies and adjustment must consider both the internal dynamics of each subsystem and its relationship with the others. What do you think about Mishu and Brandon?
Okay, it's important to think about this topic because remember that this topic refers to the ability of the different speakers to effectively communicate. That includes some service, that is the translations, and in some case include the teach tool, that include the technology of text and visual aids. And understand it's important remember that their native language it's essential to understand the multicultural settings that include a language or a simplified communication such as international organization, global business, and diverse community. that it's important, the feedback, common protocols. What about you, Brandon?
Well, your contributions is very interesting, my friend, but I would like to add different punch, such as universal voice recognition. Imagine a world where your voice is understood in any languages. That is universal voice recognition. These systems are capable of recognizing and transcribing speech in multiple languages or agnostic languages models. Let's now move on to agnostic language models. These are like digital polyglots. They are AI models that can process and generate text in multiple languages. Or transfer learning is like teaching someone to ride a bike and then being able to apply the knowledge to learn to skate more quickly. In language context, this means using knowledge of one language to understand another, or adaptive systems that are like linguistic commons. These are adaptive systems that can automatically adjust to different languages or dialects. The most impressive thing is that they can modify their parameters in real time according to the input that they receive. Or finally, the phonetic diversity is at the heart of human speech. In our field, it involves recognizing and managing different sounds and pronunciation patterns. That's all.
Okay, guys, that was a nice conversation. So thank you.